Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Melissa, and today I'm going to be decluttering with my very next lucky bag. Yes, it's been a couple of months. I'm really trying to wrap this series up. I have 2 more bags left after this, so I may or may not end up combining them so I can just wrap them up in one video together. I'm going to take a peek and see what's inside there. I know I have 2 palettes in there that I'm going to really struggle with whether to declutter or not, so that's future. That's for the future. Today we're going to look at what was in this month's lucky bag. I use that term loosely because it's been a while. And today for my makeup, I used some of the products that I'm really loving from this lucky bag, and I did a little bit of a colorful look as a nod out to the color of the year, which is just a true blue, and just how I really like wearing a bright color on my lid because I have hooded eyes. When I look down, you can see the color, but when I'm looking straight forward, it's only noticeable when I blink, so it's not like too intense. So shout out to all you hooded eye girls. You can really wear a bright color without it being too intense. Yay us! So let's start off with the products that I'm going to declutter out of this bag, and then I'll share with you what I am keeping, what I'm wearing on my face today, and then we'll be done. So let's start with foundation. In here I had L'Oreal Visible Lift Serum Absolute Foundation in the shade, what shade is this? Any shade? Shade? Oh my god, it's on top of the lid. So the shade is 146 Nude Beige. So I thought the texture of this foundation was pretty nice. I wouldn't necessarily say this is a serum, it seems much thicker than a serum, but whoa, this color is way too dark for me. And I'm really running into that with a lot of the foundations I had in my collection. I think since using the Curology, my complexion is brighter, and so these colors don't work for me anymore. So I am decluttering this mostly because it's really too dark. And truth be told, I am really liking a much lighter foundation these days. Today I'm wearing a powder foundation and a little concealer. Also in this bag was the NYX eyeshadow base, and it's just in a little pot, kind of like, oh, you know, a MAC Painterly paint pot in just a nice nude shade. Yeah, it's just very dried out. I'm decluttering it. So one of the palettes in there was this one from Tarte. It's the Rainforest of the Sea Volume 2. Oh, this packaging. I would keep it just for the packaging because, oh my gosh, isn't that glorious? Oh, so pretty. However, what did I write on here? So what I wrote on the back of here was it's too warm and I don't really like the color story. And it is just a kind of a weird color story, like the lighter shades here, they are very warm. And then you get into these darkness. It's just not great. I just don't like the color story on this. So I'm going to just look at this beautiful packaging for a little while, and then I'm going to declutter it. I really liked the first Rainforest of the Sea palette. I liked the color story and the formula, so I bought this one thinking, oh, I'm so glad they're making another one. I should have paid a little bit closer attention to the color story to make sure it was something I liked. And that's something I am trying to do now more, is really pay attention to the color story. Every now and then I still get caught up in it and I buy something that maybe isn't the best for me, but I'm doing better overall. So then I have another little highlighter from Becca, and glasses. No glasses. So this, I believe, is Opal, and you can see I used quite a bit, or it's dried up quite a bit. Although I did wear it, and it is still very much viable. Can we see that? There we go. I think originally this was in a gift pack in the holidays and it had 3 shades in it. And I think I'm going to just keep one of the other shades and I'm going to declutter this. But this is a beautiful product. I would recommend that if you're looking for like a liquid highlighter, which is so beautiful on the skin. But how many highlighters does a girl need? Not that many, truth be told. All right, the last 2 things I'm decluttering are 2 different lip products. The first one is this Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink, the shade 80, which I think is called Ruler. It's a little warm, but it is very wearable for me. However, I just don't wear these kinds of colors in general where I would reach for this to wear it, if that makes sense. Like my wardrobe doesn't have that many warm colors in it. So I've had this for a while and I've only worn it a couple of times. And quite frankly, I really like the new formula they have out. It's the Superstay Ink Crayon that looks like this. And it is still pretty long wearing, but it's not as drying as this formula. So both are really great. If you like liquid lipsticks, this is one of the best from the drugstore. Like, it stays like mad. So I do have a color in my collection that I love and I still wear, and it's this shade called Lover. And you can just see them side by side. This is very much, this like comes off as like a neutral pink, and this is definitely has that warm undertone to it. This I love because the little bit that it does wear off around the inside of your mouth kind of blends in with my lip color, and yeah, it's thebomb.com. So I really do like this formula, especially if you're in a situation where you really want your lipstick to wear for a long period of time. It's not entirely 100% bulletproof, but it's pretty long wearing. The last product that I'm decluttering is this little Marc Jacobs sample of his lip color in the Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. I didn't like it on that much. I have other colors that I like better. I'm getting really particular about my lip color. I think it has to do with my hair color. I think I'm going to declutter this. I love this formula. It's a great formula, but I didn't love it the day I wore it. It looked like a lipstick. Like, I know I'm wearing lipstick today. It looks like lipstick, but this, I think, goes with my skin tone so much better than the Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. It's hard to explain. I am doing my hair a little bit different these days. Testing it out. Trying to let a little bit of that natural curl come up. A little bit. Okay, I have a handful of products that I'm keeping, but I'm not wearing today. I'm going to start off with this Fresh Sugar Lip Balm in the shade Berry. Again, it's one of these little samples, deluxe sample sizes from a holiday pack. I know I love this because I actually bought and used a full size of this one. It's like I used it all up. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in rotation and I'm going to use it up. I love these. I don't love these little sample sizes because they are really prone to breaking, like really prone to breaking. I also have a little e.l.f. smudge pot in the shade Cruising Chic, and I like this so much. It is drying up a little bit, but I think I can get a little bit more wear out of it, you know, for when you just want a little smudge of color. So pretty all over the eye. So I'm going to use this a little bit longer until it really just gets too dry to use. And hello e.l.f., could you put a bigger label in there? Because that's nearly impossible to read. I also have another one of these dual-ended 24/7 Glide-On eye pencils, and this one was coordinated to go with the original Naked palette. It has the shade Zero and the shade Whiskey, just a great basic set of colors. It's not dried out. I was shocked. It's just a beautiful black and a beautiful brown, so I'm going to keep this and try and get a little bit more use out of it. And then the last thing that I'm keeping but not wearing today is Photo Edit Eyeshadow Trio that looks like a camera lens, which you know I really love these. So this trio is called Night Shoot. It has just a beautiful cream, a great lid shade, which is like a bronzy shade, and a deeper crease shade. This one might be my favorite one out of the 3 that I own, and I haven't decided if I'm going to keep all 3 or if I'm going to make a decision on just keeping one. But I love the profile. This is super slender, and just, I love this packaging. It doesn't seem like very much, but it's very simple, and it's just, I don't need a lot of packaging, and I don't need a mirror, because who could actually do their eye makeup in a mirror this size? Like, no, you can't possibly, unless you're 12 and you can see this far away, which I cannot. Now let's get into the stuff that I'm keeping. So the first thing is, I'm going to use this up. It's from L'Oreal. It's the Revitalift Miracle Blur Instant Eye Smoother. It is just a deluxe sample size. You know, back in the day, they launched a primer. Didn't work for me. This came about. I'm not sure where I got this little sample from. Maybe when I bought something at Ulta. I'm not sure. And I just kind of shied away from it because I didn't really like the face primer. But it's fine for under the eyes, and I'm going to try and use it. I did use it today. I don't think it does much blurring. I think that's just a marketing term. But it is a pretty nice under eye priming, moisturizing thing. Eye smoother. So yeah, I'm going to use it up. There's not much in there. I should be able to get through that pretty quickly. On my cheeks, I'm wearing another one of these blushes from the Maybelline Fit Me line in the shade Rose. I do also have my favorite highlighter on, so all this glow is not from this, but I really love the shade of this blush. I have the nude one. I love that one. I think this is a great value from the drugstore. So this is just a little bit brighter pink than the nude one. Go figure. So I'm definitely going to keep this. If you're looking for a really good drugstore blush, this is one of my favorites. I have a couple that I really like from the drugstore. I think you can get a good blush at the drugstore. Oh, I didn't talk about this. I also tried this sample, and it's gone. It's used up in the shade that I would use. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Complexion Perfecting Microfine Powder. There was barely enough on this card for me to do much more than feel the texture and maybe powder my nose. But I liked it. I can see why people rave about it. It is very smooth, but I'm not sure I would spend the money that this costs to purchase it. But if that's in your price range, go for it. The other eyeshadow palette that was in this bag is one from Urban Decay, and it's this Vice palette. So this was a holiday palette, and I think it has such an amazing color story to it, and I've forgotten how much I really enjoyed this palette until I pulled it out again. So it is kind of set up in Rose, where you can kind of build a look from there, kind of. But it has two sides of neutrals, which is awesome. And then it has a nice assortment of color in here, very wearable color. And I just remember really enjoying this palette so much. So today, I decided to do a colorful look, and kind of as a nod to the Pantone color of the year, which is True Blue. Blue eyeshadow is making a comeback, and it's not that gross powder blue eyeshadow that we all wore in the 70s. Well, I wore it because I was alive in the 70s, but maybe you weren't. It's definitely a deeper blue, a more true blue, even a smoky blue. Like, I would just take that and go, whoa. You just look in your collection and see what color eyeshadows you have that are blue, and play around with them and see if you like them and if they work for you. So for today's look, let's see, how did I start this? I went in and used this shade as my transition, and this up under my brow bone. And then I went into this blue here and put that like in the inner half to 2/3 of my lid, and then this in the outer corner of my lid, and then I did a little blending. and just kind of softened it up. And I finished it with this darker brown up in my crease a little bit in the outer corner, just to kind of give it a little bit more depth and definition, to kind of to balance out that blue. Like, the light transition shade was not dark enough. I didn't want to bring the blue up into my crease because I think that would have been too much. I wanted to keep the look fairly neutral at first glance, and then put another little pop of blue under my lower lash line. And I think it looks fantastic. I'm definitely keeping this. This color story is beautiful. And, you know, the performance of these shadows is great. So I'm going to continue keeping this in my collection because I loved it. I loved it. And I'm going to finish up with a lip color that I'm wearing, which is another one of these Revlon lipsticks, super lustrous lipsticks. This is the shade Mauvey Night, and the number is 473. Of course, I'll do links down below with everything in case you don't understand what I'm saying and just need to see it written out, or want to click on a link and see what the product looks like. I'm so in love with this color. I feel like this is a great shade for me right now, like where my hair is. It's neutral enough, but it's also bright enough. Oh, God. I'm in love with this color. I wore this out of everything here. I kept reaching into the bag and pulling this out. Like, I kept wearing this and wearing it. And I don't know what else more to say about that. It's fantastic. I upload videos every Saturday morning, and over here will be last week's video in case you missed it, and then over here will be a YouTube recommendation personally selected for you by their algorithm. God bless you, YouTube. I'll see you real soon. Bye!